Once I start toggling on and off these modules to activate them, they will list here on the left hand side under my modules menu area, and I need to click on the title of the module here on the left hand side to see the contents of that module. With my exhibitors module, I'll be able to add in my exhibitors to list here. Once I click on new exhibitor, I can enter in their name, their email, their logo, but I can turn them on as a featured exhibitor. This means that that widget, that featured exhibitor widget, which is part of the content I can add to my home screen, that this exhibitor would be featured there. I'll go ahead and close this window. I have some exhibitors added already, so I can edit those existing exhibitors and make sure that they are featured. Under the tab for exhibitor representatives, this would populate from my registration site if that exhibitor was listed in there, and it would allow anyone registered under that company to be listed as an exhibitor rather than the primary contact if that's what you needed. Under Map Sessions, I could connect this exhibitor to the existing sessions, and under Map Surveys, I could connect this exhibitor to an existing survey. As I am adding exhibitors, I may need to come into the profile of those exhibitors and connect them with surveys or sessions as I'm adding them. When I look at category mappings, I could map the registrant categories here, and it's the company field of the mapped category registrant that will automatically create the new exhibitor company, and if there were multiple registrants, they would just be added as a representative. I may have custom fields that I want to add into my exhibitors profiles, such as LinkedIn field, or if they have a special URL link for discounted products that they're selling, I could add that in. If I go back to modules, one of my other modules that's pretty similar to the exhibitors module is that sponsors module. So I'll go ahead and toggle this one on and come down to my sponsors module here on the left, and I have the same type of approach. I can map my sponsors to a registrant category in my registration site. I could give those sponsors their own custom fields that would display on their information, and if I open up an existing sponsor and edit that profile, I could feature that sponsor on my widget, and I could have a look at the representatives who are registered from the registration site. I could map them to a session or map them to an existing survey. I'll go ahead and click on close. Here are my featured exhibitors. So this is a widget that's populating with whatever one of those exhibitors I said was a featured exhibitor. If I click on the More button, I'm going to be able to click into these modules that I've made visible in here. I could change those icons. I have the floor plan anchored down here. So as I'm adding these modules and tweaking this display, I may return to that home menu configuration, switch this to big icons, menu images, or move things around. Right here, I could adjust the sequencing of these modules as I'm turning them on and off. I could anchor that floor plan, not have it listed here at the bottom, but pop it back up in that menu bar. So that's why I might revisit this section quite often as I'm turning on and off these modules.